The radio crackles at 11:47 p.m. Unit 23, we have a male down, corner of Ashford and 3rd. I grab my kit and follow Marcus to the ambulance. The old quarter spreads before us in broken streetlight patterns. Empty storefronts stare with dark windows. Probably another overdose, Marcus said. We pull up to the scene. A man lies sprawled beside the library steps. Blood pools beneath his wrist in thick, dark streams. I kneel and check his pulse, weak but steady. The bleeding follows a strange pattern, too controlled for an accident, too precise for self-harm. This looks familiar, I said. Marcus radios for police backup. I press gauze to the wound and study the marks. Crescent-shaped cuts circle his wrist. Perfect spacing. Clinical depth. I've seen this pattern before. 3 times in the past month. Same wounds, same location, same strange pulse in the bleeding. Mara, we need to move him, Marcus said. I stabilize his airway and load him onto the stretcher. But my eyes drift to the library entrance. Ancient stone steps descend into darkness below the main level. Something pulls at my chest. A recognition I can't name. Take him in, I said. I want to check the scene. Mara, that's not our job. 5 minutes. I grab my penlight and approach the stairs. The stone is cracked. Old. Older than the building above. My footsteps echo as I descend. The air grows thick and still. At the bottom, a metal door hangs open on rusted hinges. Beyond the door lies a chamber carved from stone. Dust covers everything in thick layers. Strange symbols mark the walls, circles and lines that mean nothing to me. At the center of the room sits a marble slab. Smooth white stone streaked with silver veins. I step closer and feel it. A vibration through the floor. Steady and rhythmic. A heartbeat. The marble slab below me vibrates with a second heartbeat. I should leave. Call this in. Follow protocol. Instead, I circle the slab and study the carved edges. More symbols wind around the base. The stone fits perfectly against the chamber walls. No gaps, no visible hinges. But there, a hairline crack runs along one side. I trace it with my finger. The crack widens slightly under pressure. Air hisses out, carrying the smell of old copper and something else. Something preserved. A pressure valve. If I force the crack wider, I'll trigger some kind of mechanism. I examine the chamber walls, vents near the ceiling, sealed now but recently used. Silver residue coats the openings. If I break this seal wrong, the room fills with silver vapor. Toxic, lethal. I dig through my kit and find oxygen tubing. My trauma shears cut clean lines. I thread the tubing through the largest vent and create a bypass channel. The pressure equalizes slowly. The crack widens another inch. Inside the slab, something shifts. The lid moves. Just a fraction. Ancient air exhales through the gap, carrying that copper scent. I should run. Every instinct screams at me to get out. Instead, I wedge my penlight into the crack and push. The lid slides back 6 inches. Cold fingers catch my wrist. A voice whispers from the darkness inside. Don't move. I freeze. The grip on my wrist is gentle but immovable. Human fingers. Human temperature. But the strength beneath them feels infinite. Who are you? I whispered. Someone who needs you to stay very still. Above us, boots thud across the library floor. Heavy steps, multiple people. The fingers tighten slightly on my wrist. Not painful. Warning. Get down, the voice said. I duck beside the slab. The person inside shifts, making room. An arm circles my shoulders and draws me into the shadow of the half-open lid. Flashlight beams cut through the chamber entrance. Red laser dots dance across the walls. Sweep the perimeter, a voice called. Motion sensors triggered 10 minutes ago. The beams move closer. One passes directly over our hiding spot. I hold my breath. The arm around me tightens protectively. "Don't talk," he whispered against my ear. His breath is warm. His voice carries absolute authority mixed with something else. Restraint. The searchers move through the chamber systematically. Boots scrape against stone. Equipment beeps and clicks. A laser dot settles on the gap where my shoulder shows. It crawls upward, seeking my throat. I don't breathe. Don't blink. Don't exist. "Nothing here," one searcher said. "Must have been a rat. Check the upper levels again." The boots retreat. The lights fade. Silence returns to the chamber. The arm around me relaxes but doesn't release. "They're gone," he said. I pull back and look into the slab. A man lies inside on silk padding. Dark hair, pale skin, features that could be 30 or 300 years old. He releases my wrist and starts to sit up. Moonlight from the chamber's skylight touches his shoulder. His skin begins to smoke. He collapses, burning where moonlight touches him. I react without thinking. Medical training takes over. I grab him under the arms and drag him away from the light. He weighs more than he should, muscle and bone denser than normal. "Easy," I said. "I've got you." I pull him behind the stairwell where shadows gather thick. His shoulder shows angry red burns where the moonlight hit. From my kit, I grab the reflective blanket and wrap it around him. The burns stop spreading immediately. "UV damage?" I said. "Severe photosensitivity?" He nods, watching me work. His eyes are gray, sharp, intelligent. I clean the burns with saline and apply hydrogel patches. He doesn't flinch at the pain. "You need fluids," I said. I reach for an IV bag, but he catches my hand. "Not from you," he said. "Do you have sealed units?" I check my kit. One bag of O negative, still factory sealed. He takes it and bites directly into the plastic, drinks without spilling a drop. My brain tries to process what I'm seeing, fails, starts over. "You're a vampire," I said. "Among other things." He finishes the blood bag and sets it aside. Color returns to his skin. "Thank you," he said. "You saved my life." Sirens wail in the distance, getting closer. "More hunters," he said. "They'll sweep again with better equipment." I help him to his feet. He moves with careful control, like someone always aware of his own strength. "I need to get you out of here," I said. "If you help me, you become involved. That's dangerous. You're already bleeding out in my care. I'm already involved." He studies my face for a long moment. "If you stay with me, you're mine to protect," he said. "Do you understand what that means?" I don't. But I nod anyway. I lead him through service tunnels beneath the library. My penlight cuts weak paths through the darkness. He follows without sound. No footsteps. No breathing I can hear. But when I stumble, his hand steadies me instantly. "What's your name?" I asked. "Lucien." "I'm Mara." "I know." We emerge 3 blocks from my apartment building. I check the street for the searchers' vehicles. Empty. "My place isn't much, but it's private," I said. "I won't hurt you, Mara." I believe you. The truth is I do. He could have drained me in the chamber. Could have snapped my neck when I found him. Instead, he protected me from the lasers. We take the service entrance to my building's basement. I unlock the storage room I rent for extra space. "It's not comfortable, but it's secure," I said. Lucien examines the room's corners, tests the lock, nods approval. "You'll be safe here until sunrise," I said. "What about you?" "I have a shift starting in 6 hours. Don't mention this to anyone." "I won't." He settles against the far wall, choosing distance, making space between us. "You don't kill humans," I said. "It's not a question." "No?" "But others do." "Yes." I want to ask more. About the hunters. About the chamber. About why my touch could break whatever seal held him. Instead, I hand him my spare blanket and turn toward the door. Small sneakers appear on the basement stairs. A boy stares at us without fear. The child can't be older than 10. Dark hair falls across bright eyes. His clothes are clean but worn. He stands 3 steps from the bottom, watching Lucien like he recognizes him. "Theo," Lucien whispered. The boy steps around me and walks directly to Lucien. No hesitation, no fear. He places his small hand on Lucien's sleeve. Lucien's controlled expression breaks. For one breath, I see grief so deep it makes my chest ache. "Where have you been?" Lucien asked softly. "Hiding," Theo said. "Like you taught me. How did you find me?" Theo looks at me. "She woke you up." The boy leans against me like he's known me forever. His trust comes easy and complete. Under his palm on Lucien's sleeve, light begins to glow. Faint but growing stronger. The same crescent sigil from the chamber appears in silver lines across my skin. The boy's palm paints my skin with light. I stare at the sigil marking my forearm. Silver lines form perfect crescents. They don't burn or hurt. They just exist, like they've always been there. "What is this?" I asked. Lucien rises slowly, his eyes fixed on the marks. "A bloodline signature," he said. "Very old, very rare. I'm not a vampire." "No, but you carry the mark of someone who once bound herself to my court." Theo presses closer to my side. His presence feels familiar in a way that doesn't make sense. "Who was she?" I asked. "Someone I failed to protect." Pain flickers across his features before control returns. "The mark recognizes you as hers," he said. "That's why you could break the seal. And now? Now you're part of something larger than yourself." My phone buzzes. Text message from unknown number. "Bring the king or the boy bleeds." I show Lucien the screen. His face goes deadly still. "They have surveillance on this building," he said. "Who?" "People who want me dead, or worse." I look down at Theo. The boy watches us with serious eyes. "What do you need from me?" I asked. "Help. Trust. A place to plan." Another text arrives. "You have 1 hour." Theo takes my hand. His fingers are cold but steady. "I won't let them hurt him," I said. Lucien nods once. Then we move. Now. We pack quickly. My EMT kit. Theo's small backpack. Lucien takes nothing but watches every shadow. "There's a service tunnel that connects to the hospital," I said. "We can move without being seen." "Good. I need supplies." "What kind?" "Medical, and other things." We slip through the basement's rear exit. The tunnel entrance hides behind a dumpster. City maintenance access. Inside, our footsteps echo off concrete walls. Emergency lighting casts everything in sickly yellow. Theo walks between us without complaint. The boy has done this before. "How long have you been protecting him?" I asked. "His father was my lieutenant. When he died, Theo became my responsibility." "What happened to his father?" "Betrayal." We reach the hospital's lower level. I badge us through security doors, hoping no one checks the logs tonight. "Wait here," I said. I gather supplies from the trauma bay, IV bags, antibiotics, surgical tape, equipment that won't be missed until morning. When I return, Lucien examines each item carefully. "You know medical protocol," he said. 8 years as an EMT, 4 in combat medic training before that. Military? Marines, 2 tours. Something changes in his expression, recognition, respect. "That explains the calm under pressure," he said. My phone buzzes again. Same unknown number. Time's up. We're coming. The lights in the tunnel flicker and go out. Emergency power kicks in, bathing everything in red light. "They cut the main power grid," Lucien said. "How is that possible?" "Money, influence, inside information." Footsteps echo from both ends of the tunnel. We're surrounded. I pull Theo close and reach for my radio. Lucien catches my wrist gently but firmly. "Don't," he said. Radio signals can be tracked. Then what? We fight our way out. With a child? I'll carry him. You lead us to another exit. The footsteps get closer. Voices echo off the walls. I think of my building's blueprints, the maintenance shafts that connect to the old subway system. This way, I said. We run through the red-lit tunnel. Behind us, shouts erupt as our pursuers find our hiding spot empty. At the junction, I spot the maintenance access. Locked, but my multi-tool breaks the mechanism quickly. We squeeze through the shaft and emerge in the abandoned subway station. Theo hasn't made a sound the entire time. Safe? I asked. Lucien tests the air. Listens. For now. I check my phone. No signal down here. We need to call this in, I said. To whom? Police. FBI. Someone. The people hunting us have connections in law enforcement. That's how they found us so quickly. My worldview tilts again. Everything I thought I knew about safety and authority crumbles a little more. Then what do? We disappear. For now. I can't disappear. I have a job. Responsibilities. You have targets on your back. All of us do. Theo tugs my sleeve and points to a security camera in the corner. Its red light blinks steadily. Still recording, Lucien said. They'll find this footage within hours. He moves to the camera and crushes it with his bare hand. I stare at the destroyed electronics, at his undamaged fingers. We need to go, he said. We emerge from the subway through a grate in Riverside Park. Dawn approaches in gray streaks across the sky. Lucien pulls the hood of my spare jacket over his head and stays in the shadows. UV exposure? I asked. Painful, not immediately fatal. Theo holds both our hands as we walk. The boy trusts us completely. Where can we go? I asked. Somewhere they won't expect. Which is? Back to where this started. The library, the chamber beneath it. That's the first place they'll look, I said. The first and last. After they find it empty, they'll assume we've moved on. Will we have? That depends. On what? On whether you're willing to trust me completely. I look down at Theo, at the silver sigil still glowing faintly on my forearm. What does complete trust look like? I asked. A bond, old magic, very serious consequences. Such as? Your life becomes connected to mine. To the court I protect. And if I refuse? I'll do everything I can to keep you both safe, but my options become limited. The sun breaks the horizon. Lucien winces and pulls deeper into shadow. Decide quickly, he said. Dawn makes me vulnerable. I think of the boy's hand in mine, of the way Lucien protected me from the laser sights. If I agree, what happens to Theo? He stays under my protection. Always. And me? You become my partner in keeping him safe. It's not the whole truth. I can see that in his careful word choice. But it's enough truth for now. I agree, I said. Lucien stops walking. He looks at me with something that might be surprise. You're certain? Yes. He nods once. Then we go back to where it started. We turn toward the library, and I wonder what I've just committed myself to. But when Theo squeezes my hand and smiles up at me, I know I've made the right choice. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together. The abandoned library rises ahead of us in the growing daylight. Its broken windows look like eyes watching our approach. Somewhere in the distance, sirens wail. The hunt continues. But for the first time since this began, I don't feel like prey. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. We descend into the chamber as pale morning light filters through the cracked skylight. Lucien moves quickly, avoiding every ray. Stay close to the walls, he said. I guide Theo around the marble slab to the shadowed corner where Lucien waits. How long do we have? I asked. Until they realize we doubled back. Hours. Maybe less. Lucien kneels and draws a symbol in the dust with his finger. Not the crescents from before. Something more complex. What is that? Sanctuary mark. If you accept it, this space becomes protected ground. The lines begin to glow with silver light, the same light that marked my skin when Theo touched Lucien. Protected how? Old law, older than human governments. If someone breaks sanctuary without cause, they answer to my court. Your court? What remains of it? The glow spreads from the symbol across the chamber floor. The air grows thick with something I can't name. Do you accept sanctuary, Mara Hale? Lucien asked formally. The weight of the moment settles on my shoulders. Whatever I say next changes everything. I accept. The light flares once and fades, but the feeling remains. Safety, security, home. Footsteps echo on the stairs above us. Silas, Lucien said quietly. Two figures enter the chamber. A tall man with silver hair and a woman in dark leather. Both move with predatory grace. Vampire aristocracy. My lord, the man said, you've been difficult to locate. Silas, how many did you bring? 2 guards, as requested. Silas examines me with cold calculation. This is the human? This is Mara. She's under my protection. Unvetted, unbound, dangerous. I step forward. I'm standing right here. Silas ignores me completely. She compromises operational security. She saved my life, Lucien said. Once. That doesn't guarantee future loyalty. My temper flares. You want to test my loyalty? Try asking instead of talking about me like I'm not here. The woman vampire smirks. Silas looks offended. Control your pet, my lord, Silas said. Lucien's expression goes arctic. Careful. She needs rules, boundaries, proper education in our ways. What I need, I said, is for you to remember that I have medical training and you're bleeding from a shoulder wound you're trying to hide. Silas goes very still. How did you? You favor that side, shallow breathing, and there's blood on your jacket. I grab my kit and approach him. He doesn't retreat, but his hand drifts to a concealed weapon. Silver blade, I said, examining the wound. Recent, clean entry. Whoever did this knew anatomy. Professional assessment? Lucien asked. Definitely. This was precise. Meant to disable, not kill. Vera, Lucien said quietly. Silas nods grimly. She sends her regards. I clean and bandage the wound while the vampires talk strategy. Theo sits nearby, drawing in the dust with his finger. Who is Vera? I asked. Someone who believes she should rule instead of me, Lucien said. Ambitious? Ruthless. My phone buzzes. Text from the hospital. Dr. Keene wants to meet. Says it's about your research interests. I show Lucien the message. You don't know this doctor? He asked. I know of him. Big donor. Has his own research wing. What kind of research? Trauma response, blood chemistry, that sort of thing. Lucien and Silas exchange looks. Problem? I asked. Potentially, Lucien said. Human researchers studying vampire physiology often have ulterior motives. Such as? Weaponization. My shift starts in 3 hours. Normal life calling me back to the surface. I should go, I said. No, Lucien said immediately. I can't just disappear. People will notice. People who might be working with our enemies. My partner Marcus isn't working with anyone. He's barely working with his coffee maker. Theo looks up from his drawing. She has to go. We all stare at him. Why? Lucien asked gently. The doctor wants to see her. If she doesn't go, he'll know she knows. 10-year-old wisdom cutting through adult complications. The boy has a point, Silas said reluctantly. Lucien studies my face. If you go, you're walking into potential danger. If I don't go, I'm definitely bringing danger here. Acceptable risk, he said finally. But you wear a tracker. He produces a small silver device from his coat. Voice activated. If you say my name, I'll know you need help. How will you reach me? Quickly. I pocket the tracker and gather my kit. Mara? Lucien said. I turn back. Be careful. Always am. But as I climb the stairs toward daylight, I wonder if careful is enough anymore. My shift passes in controlled chaos. 3 trauma cases, 2 overdoses, 1 cardiac arrest, normal problems with normal solutions. Dr. Keene finds me during my break. Ms. Hale, I'm Colin Keene. Tall, expensive suit, smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Doctor, what can I do for you? I understand you've been observing some interesting wound patterns lately. My blood chills. Interesting how? Crescent-shaped, very precise, almost surgical in nature. I keep my expression neutral. I see a lot of wounds. Of course, I was wondering if you'd noticed any commonalities among the victims, such as location of injury, time of occurrence, victim demographics. Are you conducting a study? Something like that. He hands me a business card, heavy paper, embossed letters. If you see any more cases like that, would you call me? There might be a consultation fee in it. How much of a fee? Substantial. I slip the card into my pocket. I'll keep that in mind. Excellent. Oh, and Ms. Hale? Yes? Your building's security cameras have been malfunctioning lately. You might want to mention that to your landlord. He walks away before I can respond. My hands shake as I pull out my phone. Text to Lucien. We need to talk. I find the chamber empty when I return. No Lucien, no Theo, no signs of struggle. Panic rises in my throat. Lucien, I whisper. Nothing. Lucien! A section of the wall slides open, hidden passage. Lucien emerges alone. Where's Theo? I asked. Safe, in the inner chamber. There's an inner chamber? Several. This place is older and larger than it appears. Keene knows about me, about us. I tell him about the conversation, about the security cameras, about the consultation fee. He's fishing, Lucien said, trying to determine how much you know. How much do I know? More than he realizes, less than you need to. Helpful. Keene has been collecting vampire blood for months. We've lost 3 people to his experiments. Lost how? Drained, dissected, studied. My stomach turns. And I led him right to you. You couldn't have known. What do we do now? We make him think you're cooperating while we gather intelligence. That sounds dangerous. It is, but it's also our best option. Theo appears in the hidden doorway. His face is pale. Someone's coming, he said. Lucien moves to the chamber entrance, listens. Silas. And he's not alone. 3 figures enter. Silas leads 2 others I haven't seen before. Report, Lucien said. Vera's moved against the northern holdings. 3 sanctuaries have fallen. Casualties? None dead, all missing. She's building an army, the female vampire said. Or feeding an ally, Lucien said grimly. What ally? I asked. Someone with resources, money, influence. Someone like Dr. Keene? Possibly. My phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Enjoyed our chat today. Looking forward to working together. CK. I show Lucien the message. He's escalating, Lucien said. Meaning, he thinks you're an asset now. He'll want to test your usefulness. How? By asking you to deliver something, such as information, blood samples, or bait. As if summoned by his words, my phone rings. Dr. Keene. Answer it, Lucien said. Speakerphone. I accept the call. Dr. Keene? Ms. Hale. I hope you've considered my offer. I have. Excellent. I have a small task that might interest you. What kind of task? There's a particular individual I'd like to speak with. Someone you've encountered recently. I encounter many people. This one is special. Unusual medical needs. Photosensitive. Lucian's jaw tightens. I'm not sure who you mean, I said. I think you do, and I think you can arrange a meeting. For the consultation fee we discussed? For considerably more. I look at Lucien. He nods slightly. I might be able to help, I said. Wonderful. Let's meet tomorrow evening. My private clinic. I'll text you the address. What exactly do you want from this individual? Just a conversation. Very civilized. Very profitable for everyone involved. The line goes dead. He wants you to deliver me, Lucien said. Will you go? Not alone. Then what? We turn this around. Make him the prey instead of the hunter. Silas steps forward. My lord, this is unnecessarily risky. Perhaps, but it's also an opportunity. To do what? To end this before more people disappear. I think of the missing vampires, of Vera building an army, of Theo hiding in secret chambers. What do you need from me? I asked. Courage, trust, and very careful acting. I can do that. Are you certain? Because once we begin this, there's no safe exit. I look around the chamber, at the sanctuary mark still glowing faintly in the dust, at Theo watching us with serious eyes. I'm already in this. Might as well see it through. Lucien nods. Then we plan. Carefully. We spend hours working through contingencies, entry points, exit strategies, communication protocols. The clinic will be heavily guarded, Silas said. By humans or vampires? I asked. Both. Keen has been recruiting. From where? Vera's people. Those who believe strength matters more than honor. How many? Unknown, but enough to make this dangerous. Lucien traces patterns on the chamber floor as he thinks, strategy made visible. We need inside intelligence, he said finally. From whom? Someone Keen trusts. You mean me? Yes. What exactly would I need to do? Visit the clinic before our meeting. Reconnaissance. As what? Random medical professional? As someone considering employment. The plan takes shape slowly. I'll approach Keen about job opportunities, tour the facility, map the layout. What if he's suspicious? I asked. He won't be. You're exactly what he's looking for. Which is? Medical professional with access to unusual cases. And if something goes wrong? Lucien hands me a second tracker, smaller than the first. Emergency beacon. Break the casing if you need immediate extraction. How immediate? Seconds. Theo tugs my sleeve. Don't go. I have to. Bad things happen when people leave. I kneel to his level. What kind of bad things? They don't come back. Lucien's expression darkens. Who didn't come back, Theo? My dad, Elena, Marcus. Who's Marcus? I asked. Another child under our protection, Silas said quietly. He disappeared last month. You think Keen has him? We think someone does. The weight of responsibility settles heavier on my shoulders. It's not just about protecting Theo anymore. There are others missing. Others who need help. When do I make contact? I asked. Tomorrow morning. Early. Before he expects you to act on tonight's conversation. Eager employee? Desperate employee. You need money. He has resources. How desperate? Student loans, medical bills, gambling debt, pick your poison. I choose student loans. Easiest to fake, hardest to verify quickly. What about backup? Close, invisible, ready. What if he wants to hire me immediately? Accept. But negotiate a trial period. Why? Gives us time to extract the other prisoners. My phone buzzes. Text from Keen. Thinking more about our conversation. Are you available for coffee tomorrow? 8 a.m.? I show Lucien the message. He's moving fast, he said. Too fast? Maybe. Or maybe he's under pressure from his partner. Vera? Possibly. I compose a response. Available. Where? The reply comes immediately. My clinic. More private than a coffee shop. Definitely moving too fast, I said. Agreed, but we adapt. What if this is a trap? It probably is. But it's also our best chance to get inside. Lucien moves to the hidden passage. Rest tonight. Tomorrow will be difficult. Where are you going? To gather the others. If this goes wrong, we'll need everyone. What if something happens to you? Silas will get you and Theo to safety. What about the missing children? We'll find them, I promise. He disappears into the passage, leaving me with Silas and the weight of tomorrow's deception. Is he always this optimistic about dangerous plans? I asked. Always, Silas said. It's both his greatest strength and his most troubling weakness. Theo curls up beside me with his small backpack as a pillow. Tell me a story, he said. What kind of story? One with a happy ending. I think for a moment, then begin. Once upon a time, there was a boy who was very brave. As I speak, I wonder if I'm telling a story or making a promise. Outside, the night deepens around our sanctuary. Tomorrow, I'll walk into the lion's den wearing nothing but lies and hope. But tonight, there's just a child who needs to believe in happy endings. And maybe that's enough to keep us all going. I arrive at Keen's clinic at 7:55 a.m. The building looks respectable from outside. Medical plaza, clean windows, expensive landscaping. The reception area continues the illusion. Marble floors, abstract art, soft classical music. Ms. Hale? The receptionist smiles warmly. Dr. Keen is expecting you. She leads me down a hallway lined with awards and diplomas. Keen's credentials are impressive. Harvard Medical, Johns Hopkins residency, publications in major journals. Mara. Keen rises from behind a mahogany desk. Thank you for coming so early. Thank you for the opportunity. Please sit. Coffee? Please. He pours from a silver service, expensive china, everything designed to impress. I've been thinking about our conversation, he said. About those unusual wound patterns. Yes? I believe you've encountered something quite rare, something that could advance medical science significantly. I sip the coffee. Colombian, perfectly brewed. I'm always interested in advancing medical science, I said. Excellent. Tell me, what drew you to emergency medicine? The unpredictability. Every call is different. Even the ones that seem similar? Especially those. Patterns often hide deeper truths. He leans forward slightly. What kind of patterns? Injury mechanisms that don't match reported causes, healing rates outside normal parameters, blood chemistry anomalies. Have you documented these observations? Informally. I'd very much like to see your notes. I reach into my bag and produce a folder. Fabricated medical records. Lucien's people work fast. Keen reviews the papers with growing excitement. This is remarkable. These healing rates are impossible. That's what I thought. The blood samples. Did you run them yourself? Basic field tests only. Would you be interested in more comprehensive analysis? Definitely. He sets the folder aside. I'd like to offer you a position. Research coordinator, substantial salary, full benefits. That's very generous. There would be certain requirements, such as discretion, absolute confidentiality. Some subjects prefer anonymity. Understood. The work can be demanding, long hours, unusual schedules. I'm used to unusual schedules. Excellent. Would you like to see the facility? This is it. The reconnaissance I came for. I'd love to. Keen leads me through corridors I memorize automatically. Main hallway runs north-south. 3 emergency exits. Security cameras at every junction. Our main laboratory, he said, opening a door. The room beyond looks normal. Centrifuges, microscopes, chemical analysis equipment. But something feels wrong. The air tastes metallic. The lighting has an odd quality. State of the art, Keene said. We can analyze anything. Impressive. What kind of samples do you typically process? Blood, tissue, genetic material, whatever the research requires. We continue the tour. Examination rooms, storage areas, administrative offices. Our secure wing, he said, approaching a locked door. He badges us through. The hallway beyond is different. Thicker doors, no windows, institutional lighting. Special cases require special accommodations, he explained. What kind of special cases? Patients with unusual medical needs, photosensitivity, dietary restrictions, behavioral anomalies. My chest tightens. Behavioral anomalies? Aggression, paranoia. Sometimes sedation becomes necessary. We pass a door marked Observation. Through the small window, I glimpse a figure on a gurney. Restraints, IV lines. Is that patient conscious? I asked. Sedated for their own safety. How long? As long as necessary. The casualness in his voice makes my stomach turn. We maintain detailed records, he continued. Response to medications, physiological changes, adaptation patterns. Adaptation to what? Various stimuli, environmental changes, pharmaceutical interventions. We're talking about torture, clinical, systematic torture. My phone buzzes. Text message. I glance at it quickly. Everything okay? I type back. Fine. Tour continuing. Work phone? Keene asked. Hospital administration. They're always checking on staff. Of course. Shall we continue? He leads me deeper into the secure wing. More observation rooms. More patients in restraints. How many subjects do you typically study? I asked. Currently 15. We hope to expand soon. Where do the subjects come from? Referrals. Sometimes law enforcement brings us difficult cases. What kind of difficult cases? Individuals who don't respond to conventional treatment. In the last room, I see something that makes my blood freeze. A child, maybe 12 years old, dark hair, too thin. Marcus, the missing boy Theo mentioned. That patient looks very young, I said carefully. Age variations provide valuable data points. Is he responsive to treatment? Moderately. Children often adapt faster than adults. I want to smash through the window, grab the boy, run. Instead, I nod professionally. Interesting. Would you like to observe a procedure? What kind of procedure? Blood extraction. Completely routine. I'd be very interested. He leads me to an adjacent room with a large window overlooking a surgical suite. In the suite, a figure lies strapped to a table. Pale skin, dark hair, female vampire, conscious but immobilized. The subject is naturally resistant to most anesthetics, Keene explained. We've had to develop alternative restraint methods. Is she in pain? Discomfort is unavoidable, but the research value is immense. A technician approaches with a large syringe. The vampire's eyes track his movement with desperate intelligence. How much blood do you typically extract? I asked. As much as the subject can safely provide. And if they can't provide safely? We adjust our methods. The syringe plunges into the vampire's arm. She tries to scream through the gag. I grip the window ledge to keep my hands steady. Remarkable healing properties, Keene said. The extraction sites close within minutes. How long have you been conducting this research? 18 months, though we've accelerated recently. Why? New funding, expanded mandate, greater urgency. What kind of urgency? Military applications, pharmaceutical development, national security implications. My phone buzzes again. Emergency text, extraction ready, say word. I delete it quickly. Dr. Keene, this is fascinating work. I'm glad you think so. When could you start? Immediately, but I do have some questions about protocols. Of course. What kind of questions? Subject acquisition, legal frameworks, institutional oversight. All handled through proper channels. You wouldn't need to concern yourself with administrative details. Good to know. What about subject welfare? We follow all applicable guidelines. Which guidelines specifically? His smile falters slightly. Institutional Review Board Standards. Human Subjects Protection. These subjects are human. Legally speaking, the classification is complex. Complex how? Some conditions challenge traditional medical taxonomy, such as vampirism. The words slip out before I can stop them. Keen goes very still. I'm sorry? I mean, hypothetically, if vampires existed, would they be classified as human? Hypothetically? Academic curiosity. He studies my face carefully. Hypothetically, such beings would represent a new category entirely. Neither human nor animal. Perhaps something altogether different. Different enough to justify different ethical standards. Potentially. And if someone discovered such beings existed, that would change everything. How so? Medical science, military capabilities, economic structures, the entire foundation of human society. That's quite a claim. Yes, it is. His phone rings. He checks the display. Excuse me. I need to take this. He steps into the hallway. I hear murmured conversation but can't make out words. My own phone buzzes. Text from Lucien. Status report. I type quickly. 15 subjects, including Marcus. Research facility. Need extraction plan. Understood. Maintain position. How long? Not long. Keen returns with a different expression. More focused, more suspicious. I'm afraid our tour will need to continue later, he said. Of course. Thank you for showing me around. My pleasure. I'll have HR contact you about employment details. Wonderful. He escorts me toward the exit, but we take a different route. More security checkpoints, more cameras. At the main door, he shakes my hand. I look forward to working with you, Ms. Hale. Likewise. Oh, one more thing. Yes? That friend of yours, the one with photosensitivity. My heart rate spikes. Yes? I'd very much like to meet him soon. I'll see what I can arrange. Excellent. Perhaps tonight? Tonight might be difficult. Tomorrow, then. I'm quite eager to begin our collaboration. I walk to my car with measured steps, professional calm. Inside, I lock the doors and text Lucien immediately. He knows. Moving fast. Timeline compromised. The response comes instantly. Extraction activated. Drive to Riverside Park. East entrance. I start the engine and pull into traffic. In my rearview mirror, I see a black sedan following at careful distance. They're not just letting me leave. They're tracking me. I take 3 unnecessary turns and confirm the tale. Black sedan, tinted windows, professional distance. My phone rings. Lucien. Where are you? He asked. Elm Street, heading toward the park. I have company. How much company? 1 vehicle, maybe 2 people. Good. We're prepared for that. What's the plan? Drive normally to the park. We'll handle the rest. What about Marcus and the others? Separate operation. Tonight. Why not now? Because if we hit the clinic while you're being followed, they'll know you're connected to us. So I have to act normal while children are being tortured. For a few more hours, yes. This is insane. This is war. I reach the park entrance. The sedan hangs back but doesn't leave. I'm here, I said. Exit your vehicle. Walk toward the pond. Look casual. I get out and stroll along the path like someone taking a morning walk. Behind me, car doors slam. 2 men in suits follow at distance. They're trying to look inconspicuous and failing. Keep walking, Lucien said through my earpiece. Where are you? Close. I reach the pond. Ducks paddle in lazy circles, normal people feeding them breadcrumbs. The men following me stop at a bench 50 feet back. One talks into a radio. They're calling for backup, I said quietly. Expected. Keep moving toward the maintenance building. What maintenance building? Small brown structure past the playground. I see it. Utility shed surrounded by trees. Almost there. Good. When you reach the door, count to 3 and go inside. What if it's locked? It won't be. I approach the shed. The followers increase their pace. 1, 2, 3. I push the door open and step inside. The shed is bigger than it appears from outside. Much bigger. And it's not empty. Silas waits with 3 other vampires I don't recognize. Combat gear. Weapons. Ms. Hale, Silas said. You did well. What happens now? Now we disappear. One of the vampires hands me different clothes. Hospital scrubs with a fake ID badge. Quick change, he said. 30 seconds. I strip and redress rapidly. The scrubs fit perfectly. How did you know my size? We're thorough, Silas said. A panel in the floor opens. Ladder leading down. Where does that go? Storm drain system. Connects to the old subway tunnels. What about my car? Handled. Through the shed's small window, I see the 2 followers approaching cautiously. Time to go, Silas said. We climb down into darkness just as the shed door opens above us. The tunnels are better lit than I expected. Emergency lighting every 20 feet. Clean concrete walls. How extensive is this system? I asked. Miles of tunnels, multiple exit points, perfect for movement without detection. We walk quickly but quietly. Behind us, no sounds of pursuit. Did they follow us down? No. They'll assume you're still in the shed until backup arrives. How long will that take? Long enough. We reach a junction with 3 branching paths. Which way to Lucien? I asked. Center passage. But first, you need to understand something. Silas stops and faces me. The clinic isn't just a research facility. What else is it? A processing center. Keen isn't just studying vampires. He's creating weapons. What kind of weapons? Hybrid serums, strength enhancement, regenerative capabilities, for human soldiers. My stomach drops. Super soldiers. Worse, the serum is unstable. It drives subjects insane within weeks. And he's using vampire blood to stabilize it? Attempting to. The failures are disposed of quietly. How quietly? Mass graves, industrial incinerators, complete erasure. How many people has he killed? Hundreds, maybe thousands. We continue walking as the implications sink in. Tonight's mission isn't just rescue, I said. No, it's prevention of something much worse. Such as? Military deployment. If Keen succeeds in stabilizing the serum, every conflict zone becomes a testing ground. What can we do? Destroy the research, eliminate the threat, save whoever we can. And if we fail? The world changes. Permanently. We emerge into a larger chamber I recognize. The library sublevel. Home. Lucien waits with Theo and a dozen others. Warriors in dark clothing. Successful reconnaissance? He asked. More than successful. We need to move tonight. Agreed. What did you learn? I tell him everything. The layout, the security, the research objectives. Hybrid soldiers, he said grimly. Vera always was ambitious. You think she's behind this? I think she's using Keen to achieve something we haven't fully understood yet. Such as? The complete subjugation of both species. Theo tugs my sleeve. Are we going to save Marcus? I kneel to his level. Yes, tonight. Promise? Promise. But as I look around at our small army, I wonder if we have enough people for what we're about to attempt. Lucien seems to read my thoughts. Mara, there's something else you need to know. What? Keen isn't human anymore. What do you mean? He's been experimenting on himself, using the hybrid serum. Is he stable? Unknown. But he's considerably more dangerous than he appears. How dangerous? Strong enough to tear through steel, fast enough to outrun bullets, and completely insane. Jesus! We'll need every advantage we can get. He hands me tactical gear, body armor, communication equipment, weapons. I've never used these, I said. Basic point and shoot, silver ammunition. Don't hesitate. What if I miss? You won't. How can you be sure? Because failure isn't an option. I strap on the gear and check the weapon systems. Everything feels foreign but functional. What's my role in this? Medical support, prisoner extraction, and backup if things go wrong. What kind of backup? Emergency escape. With Theo. What about you? I'll hold the line. That sounds like a suicide mission. Only if we fail. And if we succeed, we end this. Tonight. I look around the chamber one last time, at the sanctuary mark still glowing in the dust, at Theo drawing pictures in his notebook, at the warriors preparing for battle. When do we leave? I asked. Sunset. 1 hour. What do we do until then? We rest, we prepare, and we say goodbye. Goodbye? To who we were before tonight. Because whatever happens at that clinic, none of us will be the same afterward. The war for both our species begins in 60 minutes, and I'm about to become a soldier in a conflict I never chose. But looking at Theo's trusting face, I know I'll do whatever it takes. Some promises are worth any price. Sunset bleeds red through the library's broken skylight. We gather in the main chamber like shadows preparing for war. Lucien stands at the center, transformed from the wounded figure I found in the tomb. Now he's something else entirely, a king preparing to reclaim his throne. Final briefing, he said. 3 teams. Silas leads extraction. I handle Keen. Mara coordinates medical support. What about security? One warrior asked. Disabled. We have inside help. From whom? One of Vera's people who chose differently. I check my equipment one last time. Medical kit. Communication gear. The silver ammunition Lucien insisted I carry. Rules of engagement? Silas asked. Save who we can. Stop what we must. No unnecessary killing. And if Keen resists? He will resist. Be ready. Theo approaches with his small backpack, ready to come with us. No, I said firmly. You stay here. But no arguments. This is too dangerous. He looks to Lucien for support. Mara's right, Lucien said gently. Guard the sanctuary while we're gone. What if you don't come back? Then you follow the emergency protocols Silas taught you. I don't want to follow protocols. I want my family safe. The word hits harder than expected. Family. That's what we've become in just a few days. We'll come back, I said. All of us. Promise? Promise. But my chest tightens as I say it. Some promises are harder to keep than others. We move through the tunnel system in absolute silence. 3 teams of 4. Communication by hand signals only. The clinic sits above us like a sleeping predator. Through storm drains we can see lights in windows. Guards walking perimeters. Silas signals the breach point, maintenance entrance, service elevator to the secure wing. 2 minutes to insertion, Lucien whispers into his comm. My hands shake slightly. Combat nerves. I've felt this before, but never for stakes this high. You okay? Lucien asked quietly. Just adrenaline. Good. Use it. The elevator arrives silently. We pile in and ascend toward whatever waits above. Remember, Lucien said, Keen won't go quietly. He's invested too much to surrender. What about Vera? If she's here, she's mine. And if something goes wrong? Then you get the prisoners out, no matter what. The elevator stops. Secure wing, where I saw Marcus and the others this morning. The doors open to reveal empty hallways. Too empty. It's quiet, I whispered. Too quiet. Silas agreed. We advance in formation. Clear each room systematically. The observation cells are empty, gurneys unmade, equipment powered down. They moved them, I said. When? After my visit. They knew we were coming. Lucien checks his watch. 8 hours to relocate 15 prisoners. Where would they go? A sound echoes from deeper in the building. Machinery humming. Voices calling orders. Lower level, Silas said. There was no lower level on the tour, I said. Hidden, like everything else here. We find the concealed staircase behind a false wall, descending into a space that shouldn't exist. The basement is massive. Industrial equipment, surgical suites, and something else. Prison cells. Dozens of them, all occupied. Jesus, I whispered. How many? Lucien asked. 50? Maybe 60? This isn't just research, Silas said. It's a factory. We split up to assess the situation. Most prisoners are vampires in various stages of experimentation. Some are children. All are weak from blood loss. Medical supplies, I called. I need IV fluid, antibiotics, plasma expanders. Storage room, one warrior said. End of the hall. I run for supplies while the others begin opening cells. The prisoners are barely conscious. Months of torture have left them skeletal. Can they travel? Lucien asked. Some. Others need immediate stabilization. How long? 20 minutes minimum. We don't have 20 minutes. As if summoned by his words, alarms begin wailing. Red lights flash throughout the facility. They know we're here, Silas said. Extraction teams, move now, Lucien ordered. What about the unstable prisoners? We carry them. I start IV lines on the weakest victims, combat medicine under pressure. Keep them alive long enough to reach safety. From somewhere above us, gunfire erupts. Contact, a voice reports through comm. Multiple hostiles, automatic weapons. Silas, take your team and the prisoners, Lucien said. Get them to the tunnels. What about you? I find Keen. End this. That's suicide. That's necessary. More gunfire. Closer now. I finished stabilizing a child who can't be older than 8. Vampire healing helps, but she's been bled nearly dry. Can you walk? I asked. She nods weakly. Stay with the others. We're going home. Lucien approaches with tactical gear. Change of plans. What kind of change? Keen's not here. Where is he? Unknown, but he left something behind. He hands me a tablet displaying video feed, multiple locations, all showing vampire prisoners in similar facilities. How many sites? I asked. 12, maybe more. This is bigger than we thought. Much bigger. On the tablet screen, I see Marcus, alive but barely responsive. Location tag shows he's 2 miles away. We have to get him, I said. We have to get everyone. How? Coordinated strikes. Hit all sites simultaneously. With what army? The one we're about to build. Explosions rock the building above us. Debris falls from the ceiling. Time to go, Silas called. We begin moving prisoners toward the tunnel access. Slow progress. Too many injured. Too few hands. Leave me, one vampire said. Save the children. Nobody gets left behind, Lucien said firmly. But as more explosions shake the structure, I realize we might not have a choice. The tunnel entrance is 100 yards away when they find us. Security forces pour down the stairwell. Military gear. Professional formation. These aren't clinic guards. Contact rear, Silas reported. How many? Lucien asked. 10. Full tactical. Weapons? Automatic rifles, silver ammunition, UV grenades. Defensive positions. Protect the prisoners. We form a barrier between the security team and the weakest vampires. My hands find the weapon Lucien gave me. Have you ever killed anyone? He asked quietly. No. It changes you. I know. Are you ready? I look at the children cowering behind us, at Marcus on the video screen, at Theo waiting in the sanctuary. Yes. The security team advances with professional precision. Cover and move, suppressing fire, military training. But they're fighting vampires in their own territory. Lucien moves first, faster than human eye can follow. 3 guards down before they can adjust aim. Silas takes the left flank. 2 more guards drop. The remaining 5 retreat to better positions. Suppression, their leader called. Full auto. Bullets chew through concrete. Silver rounds spark off metal pipes. A stray shot catches one of the prisoners in the shoulder. She goes down hard. My training takes over. I sprint toward her under covering fire. Mara, get back, Lucien shouted. Too late. I reach the wounded vampire and start field treatment. Direct pressure, hemostatic agents, basic trauma care. A guard flanks around our position, rifle trained on me. I draw my weapon and fire twice. Center mass. He drops. The sound echoes in my head, the finality of it. First kill? The wounded vampire asked. Yes. Gets easier. I hope not. The remaining guards fall back to the stairwell, regrouping for another assault. We need to move, Lucien said. Can she travel? I asked about the wounded vampire. I'll manage, she said. We begin the retreat to the tunnels, carrying the weakest, supporting those who can barely walk. Behind us, more security forces arrive, different uniforms, federal agents. This just became a federal case, I said. Good, Lucien said. Let them clean up Keen's mess. What about the other facilities? We'll find them, all of them. We reach the tunnel entrance as helicopters circle overhead. Searchlights sweep the building. Go, Lucien said. Get them to safety. What about you? I have one more thing to do. Such as? He pulls out a detonator. Insurance. You're going to blow the building? Just the research labs, evidence destruction. That's necessary. I grab his arm. Don't you dare die in there. I don't intend to. Promise me. He looks at me for a long moment, then leans down and kisses my forehead. I promise. He disappears back into the building as we enter the tunnels. 60 seconds later, controlled explosions rock the structure above us. All of Keen's research, gone. But Keen himself remains free, and the other facilities are still operational. This isn't over. It's just beginning. We emerge at the library as dawn approaches. Theo runs to meet us, counting faces, making sure everyone made it home. Where's Lucien? He asked. Coming, I said. He had to finish something. The rescued prisoners collapse in the main chamber, exhausted, traumatized, but alive. I work through medical assessments. Most will recover. Some need specialized care. All need time. Mara, Silas called. I turned to find him holding a tactical radio. What is it? Federal raid teams hit 3 more facilities tonight. How? Anonymous tip. Complete building layouts, evidence packages. Someone's helping us. Someone who knows the system inside and out. The radio crackles. Lucien's voice. Sanctuary, this is King. Coming home. Relief floods my chest. He's alive. Copy, King. Sanctuary secure. All packages delivered safely. Understood. ETA 10 minutes. I tend to the wounded while we wait. Combat medicine transitioning to recovery care. One of the children, a boy about Theo's age, won't stop shaking. What's your name? I asked gently. Daniel. How long were you there? Months. They said my parents were dead. Are they? I don't know. I make a note to investigate. Reunite families where possible. Mara, another prisoner called. You should see this. She hands me a data drive. What's on it? Everything. Research files, financial records, facility locations. Where did this come from? Lucien. He retrieved it before the explosions. All of it? All of it. Footsteps echo in the entrance tunnel. Lucien emerges, smoke-stained but intact. Theo launches himself into Lucien's arms. The reunion is fierce and wordless. Everyone accounted for? Lucien asked. 17 rescued. Minor injuries only, I reported. Casualties? None of ours. 5 security personnel neutralized. Keen? Escaped, but his research is destroyed. Not all of it. I hand him the data drive. This might be everything. He examines the device. Where? You tell me. Insurance. I planted a virus in their servers before we left. All their data? Copied, corrupted, then copied again to this drive. What do we do with it? We end this. All of it. He connects the drive to a laptop. Files cascade across the screen. Research data, financial transactions, personnel records, and something else. Facility locations. Dozens of them. Jesus, I said. They're everywhere. Not for long. He starts typing rapidly, composing encrypted messages. What are you doing? Sharing intelligence with people who can act on it. What people? Federal task forces, international agencies, investigative journalists. You have those contacts? I've been preparing for this war longer than you know. The files upload automatically to secure servers. Within hours, every law enforcement agency in the country will have complete intelligence on Keen's operation. What about Vera? I asked. Still out there, but her human ally is finished. Is that enough? For now. I look around the chamber, at the rescued prisoners finding comfort and safety, at Theo curled against Lucien's side, at the makeshift family we've created from chaos. What happens next? I asked. We rebuild, we heal, we prepare. For what? Whatever comes after. It's not a complete answer, but it's enough for now. Outside, the sun rises over a world where monsters in white coats no longer harvest hope from children, where vampires and humans might learn to trust each other, where a boy named Theo has his family back. I lean against Lucien's shoulder and close my eyes. For the first time in days, I feel truly safe. Mara, he said softly. Yeah? Thank you. For what? For choosing us. Thank you for letting me. Theo stirs in his sleep and reaches for my hand. His fingers intertwine with mine. Family. However strange. However dangerous. However impossible. We're home. And that's enough for now. The sanctuary mark glows steady and warm in the dust around us. Protection earned through courage. Safety built from trust. Tomorrow will bring new challenges. Vera still plots from the shadows. Other threats will emerge. But tonight, we rest in the light of something precious and rare. Hope. And sometimes, hope is everything. The library hums with quiet activity. Reading lights cast warm circles across restored tables. Children do homework while adults research genealogy records. What looks like a public literacy program hides something deeper, a sanctuary for those caught between two worlds. I check inventory in the medical wing. Fully stocked now, legitimate supplies through legitimate channels. Theo appears in the doorway with a book under his arm. Lucien wants to see you, he said. What for? Something about the new patients. I follow him through corridors that have become familiar. Home. In the main chamber, Lucien stands with 3 figures I don't recognize. A woman and 2 men, all bearing the subtle signs of vampire heritage. Mara, Lucien said. Meet the Valencia family. Refugees? I asked. Survivors. Their facility was raided last week. I shake hands with each of them. The woman's grip is weak from recent trauma. Welcome, I said. We'll get you settled. Thank you, she whispered. We heard this place was safe. It is. How did you hear about us? Word travels, among our kind, about the vampire king who chose mercy over vengeance. She looks at Lucien with something approaching worship. And about the human who stood beside him. The weight of reputation settles on my shoulders. We've become symbols whether we wanted to or not. Rest tonight, I said. We'll start your medical evaluation tomorrow. After they're settled, Lucien and I walked to our private chamber, a space carved from necessity and decorated with trust. How many this week? I asked. 7. Word is spreading faster than we anticipated. Good problem to have. Is it? I study his expression. What's wrong? Nothing. Everything. I never expected this level of responsibility. You're not doing it alone. No, I'm not. He pulls me close. His arms circle my waist like a promise. Any regrets? He asked. About? Choosing this life, this work, me. Never. Even when it's dangerous, especially then. He kisses me softly. 3 months of growing trust made physical. I love you, he said. I love you too. The words come easily now, no longer weighted with uncertainty. Mara? Yeah? Marry me. I pull back to look at his face. He's completely serious. Is that a vampire proposal or a human proposal? Both. What's the difference? Vampire marriages last forever. Literally. That's a long time. Too long? I think of everything we've built together. The sanctuary, the family, the future we're creating from the ashes of 2 broken worlds. Not long enough, I said. He slides a ring onto my finger. Simple silver band engraved with crescents. Where did this come from? I made it. From metal salvaged from the tomb where you found me. Romantic. I thought so. Theo appears in our doorway carrying a tray. Are you done being mushy? He asked. Dinner's ready. We're done, I said. Good, because I'm starving. He sets the tray on our small table. 3 plates, 3 glasses, 3 sets of silverware. Family dinner in an underground sanctuary. Not the life I planned, but exactly the life I needed. What's for dinner? Lucien asked. Pasta, salad, and that bread you like. Did you make the bread yourself? Maybe. Theo, I said. You're getting too good at this domestic thing. Someone has to take care of you two. He's right. In trying to protect him, we've allowed him to protect us in return. Any homework tonight? Lucien asked. Finished. Math was easy. History was boring. English was okay. What are you reading? Adventure story, about pirates and treasure and sword fights. Good book? Pretty good. But the pirates aren't as scary as real life. True words. Nothing in fiction compares to the horrors we've seen. But also nothing in fiction compares to the love we've found. Theo, I said, how would you feel about a wedding? Whose wedding? Ours. Finally. I was wondering when you two would figure that out. You approve? I approve. Can I be the best man? Of course. And can we have cake? Lots of cake. Good. When? I look at Lucien. When? Tomorrow? Next month? Whenever you want. Next month sounds perfect. Can we invite the others? Theo asked. Silas and the warriors and the new families? Everyone, Lucien said. Big celebration. With dancing? If you want dancing. I want dancing, and music, and flowers. The boy who's seen too much horror planning a party based on pure joy. You'll have everything, I promised. We eat dinner together as the sanctuary settles into evening routine. Soft voices in the distance. Children being tucked into bed. Adults planning tomorrow's work. Normal sounds of family life in an abnormal place. What are you thinking about? Lucien asked. This. Us. How impossible it all seemed 3 months ago. Still seems impossible sometimes. Good impossible or bad impossible? The best kind of impossible. After dinner, we walk through the sanctuary's halls, checking on residents, ensuring everyone's safe and settled. In the children's wing, I find Marcus reading to younger kids, fully recovered from his captivity, stronger for having survived it. Good story? I asked. The best, he said. About brave knights and rescued princesses. Knights always win in stories. Sometimes they win in real life too. Sometimes they do. In the medical wing, the newest arrivals sleep peacefully, healing from trauma, beginning to trust safety. No nightmares tonight, the duty nurse reported. Good. Call me if anything changes. Will do. At the main entrance, security teams maintain quiet vigilance, always watching, always ready. Anything to report? Lucien asked. All quiet. Perimeter sensors clear. Thank you. We return to our chamber as the sanctuary enters full night mode. Emergency lighting only, whispered conversations fading to silence. Happy? Lucien asked. Completely. Any fears about tomorrow? None that matter. Good answer. He pulls me close again, his hands warm against my back. Mara? Yes? Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for letting me. Thank you for saving all our lives. We saved each other. Yes, we did. Outside our chamber, the sanctuary settles into peaceful sleep. Children dream of adventures. Adults plan for better tomorrows. Families heal together. All of it built on a foundation of trust between two impossible people who found love in the darkness. I look at the engagement ring catching lamplight, at Lucien's face soft with contentment, at our shared future stretching ahead like an open road. Ready for bed? He asked. Ready for everything. We turn off the lights and settle into sleep together, safe in our underground kingdom, protected by love and defended by hope. Tomorrow will bring new challenges. Other facilities to close, other families to reunite, other battles to fight. But tonight, there's only this. The quiet certainty of home, the steady rhythm of his heartbeat beside mine, the knowledge that whatever comes next, we'll face it together. In the darkness, I hear Theo's voice from down the hall, talking in his sleep about birthday parties and wedding cake. I smile and close my eyes. Some promises are kept through courage. Some families are forged in fire. Some love stories begin in impossible places and grow into forever. This is ours. And it's perfect. The end.